Hello word nerds! Happy Saturday! Today we're going to talk about writing faster. This is something that I've been really interested in trying to get better at over the last year. I've been trying a lot of different things, and so I wanted to share with you what I have done to get my writing speed up. I just want to preface it by saying that this is what's worked for me. Maybe it'll work for you. I hope it does. The first and most important, possibly least helpful thing is that you have to be patient. Like I mentioned a second ago, I've spent a full year working on trying to get my word count up, and I'm just now starting to feel like I'm at a place where I can look back and be like, wow, I'm writing significantly faster. So just know it might take a while, and that's okay. That's super normal. Writing is like a muscle, and you don't do one leg day and then wake up super buff, although that would be awesome. It's going to take some time. The second thing that I have started doing that makes me write much faster is I figure out what I'm going to write before I actually start the drafting. You don't have to be a plotter to do this. You don't have to figure out everything that's gonna happen, but it really does make a big difference figuring out what's gonna happen in this scene or this chapter. And it usually only takes a couple minutes. I sit down, I look at what I've already written, and think, okay, so what's gonna happen next? And I come up with 2 or 3 things, and then I write those things. And not having to sit there and stare at the page and wonder, it cuts out a lot of time. Number 3, try out different places and environments. You might think that one thing works best for you, but when was the last time that you really tested that? Try out lots of different things. Try writing in your bedroom versus on the couch versus at the coffee shop, with music, without music, with ambient sound. There are so many different variables that you can test out, and you might be surprised what things work best for you. Which leads me to number 4, which is to record all of this. I am not a super scientist by any means, but I do know that if you aren't recording how it's all going, you're not gonna remember. You'll be like, yeah, that one day I was having a really good day and it felt great, so that was probably good. And that's not necessarily always the case. Sometimes you're just feeling good and you only wrote 200 words, but whatever. As I have been trying to figure out ways to get myself to write faster, I actually made a spreadsheet. It includes variables like, was music playing? Where was I? How was I feeling stress-wise when I sat down to write? What was the time of day? Was my husband home while I was trying to write? And I tried to make sure that anytime I did a variable or some combination of things, that I tried to do that same thing at least 3 times. So if I wanted to see if writing in my office was particularly good, I tried to make sure that I wrote in my office at least 3 times. That way I could know it wasn't like a fluke. I have made for you guys, if you want to try this out yourself, a blank copy of this spreadsheet that I've been using. I've put a link with all the instructions on how you can download it and use it yourself down in the description. I've been really amazed by what I've learned from it, and it's a little tedious going in after every sprint and writing a few notes about like, oh, well, this is where I was, and this is how long I wrote, and this was my word count, and this is how I'm feeling about it. But I've learned a lot, and I've found patterns that I would not have expected. For example, for me, I always thought that I needed something in the background to write well because I have really bad tinnitus, and I don't like the ringing in my ears. I think it distracts me, but actually, I write much quicker if it's either completely silent or I just have like one song that I know really well on repeat in the background so I can tune it out. Similarly, I always thought that if I wrote in 20 to 30 minute sprints, I would get a lot more done, but actually much shorter sprints are better for me. I can write almost as much in a 15-minute sprint as I do in a 30-minute sprint. For some reason for me, I just don't get distracted as easily when it's that really short period of time. So try it out. I think it's really, really worth it to record all of this data so that you can look back on it and figure out what works best for you if you are passionate about getting faster at writing. Again, these are just the things that have worked for me. Let me know what things you have done to get faster at writing down in the comments. I'm always looking for ways to improve, and I know that my method won't work for everyone, so we can all help each other. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time for our live chat. We're gonna be talking all about beating writing slumps. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I cannot wait to see you all then, and until then, stay nerdy.